Hey folks, welcome to the show. A lot of differences in this game compared to the rest of the series as a whole. Um, I might as well just get right into it. Stuart Skinner was elected to start. I'm sure everyone had lots of thoughts on it. I had lots of mixed thoughts, and I just decided just to be quiet because none of it mattered. None of our thoughts on whether Skinner should start or not. It didn't matter. I just realized I wrote Calvin Picard down here. So as I'm talking about Stuart Skinner played, it's Skinner played, not Picard. Um, there's a spoiler if you want to read ahead, but I'm sure you read the title. Because, again, all of our pregame thoughts don't matter. It's Knobloch's pregame thoughts and how Skinner performs. And we'll talk about that and everything else that happened in this game. I'm not going to talk about reffing. As I've said in the last 3 or 4 videos, I don't think one team got a special benefit from reffing. I thought it was still not up to par, but much better than the last few games. But anyways, speaking of reffing and power plays, Game 6, like all other games in this series, begins with a power play within the first 5 minutes. This time it's Draisaitl going to the penalty box for interfering with Connor Garland. That comes a minute and 46 seconds into the period. And that power play is, well, before it ends, actually, Janmark and Miller go off for roughing each other. So it's offset, remains 5-on-4, and the Vancouver power play ends without a single shot on net. So brilliant penalty kill by the Oilers, namely Desharnais and Ekholm, which is usually the case, but especially the case today. Just over 5 minutes later, Dylan Holloway scores his third goal of the playoffs in a very beautiful goal. Dekes around the guy and puts it through the 5-hole. He's assisted by Leon Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard. And with that assist, Draisaitl becomes the 4th player and 3rd Oiler in NHL history to have 60 postseason assists in 60 or fewer games. He needed exactly 60. He followed, of course, Wayne Gretzky, Connor McDavid, Mario Lemieux in that order. Gretzky needed 43 games to get 60 assists. Kind of a nitpicking of a milestone, but the other milestone he reached this game is certainly not a nitpick. It's a very round, common number. Anyways, or commonly used number. Not long after that, Vancouver does answer with a goal of their own. Niels Hoglander gets 2 of Vancouver's very few high-danger chances, and the second one of his goes and hits the back of the net for his first goal of the playoffs. He's assisted by Elias Pettersson, who did have a good assist, and Philip Hronik, and I was surprised to read that was Hronik's first assist of the playoffs. I haven't been following the Canucks as closely as the Oilers, obviously, but I know Hronik enough to know he's a good passer, but I guess when your partner is Quinn Hughes, he's going to do more of the passing. Anyways, that came 3 seconds past the halfway mark. And not long after that, Vancouver gets another power play opportunity. Connor McDavid takes a really dumb, high-sticking penalty against Carson Soucy. So after that first power play where the Canucks didn't have a single shot, they now have a second chance to get a shot. No shots on goal for the Vancouver Canucks during that power play. And eventually the period ends with very little shots at all. Despite the score being 1-1, the shots in total for both teams were 4 apiece. And Vancouver likes that. They like that it's low shooting. That's how they've been playing all year, and especially in the playoffs. And they've been winning with that in the playoffs as well. But at least for the Oilers' sake, it's tied. It's just, I keep saying, as soon as the Oilers get in their groove, it's over. And it happened. It happened. And it happened in the second period. Though the power play is not in their groove. And credit to the Canucks penalty killers for that. They had a great game too. The Oilers didn't quite take over until after the power play is killed. Their power play, they had 2 minutes and 19 seconds in, comes off of Nikita Zadorov holding penalty against Carrick. Once that power play dies, the Oilers do take over 5-on-5 and eventually leads to a Zach Hyman goal, 7 minutes and 14 seconds in. He was not close to the net. He was in a really high danger area of the slot. He snipes home his 10th goal of the playoffs. Well, I shouldn't say snipe it. I'm surprised he got the shot off, too, because it wasn't a great pass for McDavid, which isn't something you say often or really ever. And it bounces off Sheloff's, flips into the air, into the net. So again, Hyman's 10th goal of the playoffs. First, I believe he's the first player to reach 10 goals in the playoffs. He's assisted by Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who also assist Evan Bouchard's goal, who scores almost exactly 4 minutes later. It's his 5th goal of the playoffs. And then the Oilers have a power play opportunity to keep the lead going. It's 3-1 at this point when Connor Garland gets called for roughing against Brett Kulak. There was a lot going on there that could have been called, but wasn't getting called. The theme from the refs was they're going to let a lot go, but anything extra was going to be, anything perceived to be extra, I should say, was going to get penalized pretty quickly. Garland did have Brett Kulak in kind of a headlock, so Garland goes off, but the Oilers power play, despite getting a 5-on-3 thanks to a Dakota Joshua high-sticking Zach Hyman, don't score a power play goal during either of those power plays. And then it's Vancouver's turn, 17 minutes and 44 seconds into the second, when Derek Ryan hooks JT Miller. Derek Ryan, one of the Oilers' better penalty killers, but they got lots of good penalty killers. And Vancouver also gets a 5-on-3 during this power play because the Oilers take a rare shorthanded too many men on the ice penalty, and the Canucks do not score on the power play during that period. Second period ends with shots during that period favoring the Oilers, 14-5, scores 3-1. Then third period begins. The rest of the power play from the Canucks is killed, as are all power plays during this game. And in the past, the Vancouver Canucks have actually been the better third period team. The Oilers throughout the season have been, but not during this series, where it matters most, arguably. I say that because you might not get to the playoffs if you don't do it in the regular season. But anyways, and the Oilers were fully aware of that and made sure they didn't let up. They still outshot Vancouver during this period, and one of those shots scored at the 3 minute and 25 second mark into the third. It's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scoring his third goal with a nice assist from Connor McDavid, who was in turn got the puck from Evan Bouchard. And then 10 minutes later, the Oilers add to the lead again. Evander Kane makes it 5-1 for his 4th goal of the playoffs, assisted by Leon Draisaitl. And with that, Leon Draisaitl, again in a 60th playoff game, becomes the 3rd fastest player in NHL history to reach 100 career playoff points. Even without reading ahead there, you can guess who did it. The 2 guys who did it faster. And then the Oilers control play throughout the rest. Just after the 2-minute warning, if it were football, there are some offsetting penalties. Desharnais, Kane, Podkolzin, and Zadorov, so 2 Oilers, 2 Canucks, all go off for 10-minute misconduct. None of the guys fought. Kane and Zadorov got close, but neither of them could get their gloves off in time, and they just ended up hugging and going down to the ice. So we got close to a fight between the two, but didn't happen. I think the rivalry between the two is a little overblown, but it's obviously there. They're both very eager to fight, and this is a scenario where fighting would happen. But again, I think their hatred between the two is overblown. I don't think it extends deeper than just playoff tension between 2 division rivals, which is still a lot. But they're making it out. Media makes it out like Kane and Zadorov hate each other deeply. I don't think it's that. Anyways, again, I've never been between the two, so I don't know, but I don't think it is. Anyways, game ends. Third period shots, like I said, were in favor of the Oilers, this time 9-6. Final score 5-1 for the Oilers. It's the only game of the series where a team won by more than 1 goal. Shots were 27-15 in favor of the Oilers, and if you've seen my other reviews, you might have seen me say or heard me say that if you're going to lose to a team and get outshot by them, you should at least out-hit them. Last game, the Oilers got out-hit and outshot and lost. This game, they did the same to the Canucks. The Oilers also out-hit the Canucks 49-39. So while the Canucks got a lot of good hitting in, Edmonton had hit Vancouver 3 times for every shot they got off. Face-offs was once again in the Canucks' favor, but not by much this time. They won 51.7%. Both penalty kills were near perfect. It was just a matter of who got more shots. The Oilers had one less power play than the Canucks, but had one more shot. The Oilers' power play was 0 for 3, but got 3 shots off. Vancouver's power play was 0 for 4 and only got 2 shots off. I say the Oilers got 3 shots off in their 3 power plays, like that's a good thing. It really isn't, unless all 3 went in. But compared to Vancouver's, we'll take it, especially when we win. Goaltending, talked about Stuart Skinner. That's whose jersey I'm wearing. Didn't need to prove himself too much, though he did have a nice save. He only allowed 1 goal against on the 15 shots he faced. Sheeloff's had his first sub-900 save percentage game in a few games, saving only 22 of the 27 he faced. I wanted to mention that at the beginning of the game, Alberta Beef, I assume it's Albertan Beef, was thrown onto the ice. If my memory serves me correct, I haven't watched every Oilers playoff game, but the last time I remember Oilers fans throwing Albertan Beef onto the ice during a playoff game was in 2006, the last time the Oilers went to the finals. Just to finish off the 3 stars, you can also see Demko will not play in Game 7. But 3 stars, really quickly, they're all Oilers. 3rd star is Connor McDavid, 3 assists. His line figured out the JT Miller line. He was +3, 2 hits and 2 takeaways in his 21 minutes, almost 21 minutes time on ice. 2nd star, Evan Bouchard, goal, 2 assists, +4, 1 hit, 2 block, and a takeaway in his 22 and a quarter time on ice. 1st star, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 1 goal and 3 points, and great penalty killing as well. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you think I've earned it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Have a great rest of wherever you're at, even if you're a Canucks fan, because you hopefully are going to need it for Monday night, but maybe I will. We'll see. Anyways, bye for now.